We could be looking at an explosive move tomorrow with Jerome Powell's speech at the Jackson Hole Summit. We're going to go over some setups into that. It is Thursday, August 21st, 2025. If you liked the video, give it a like. Subscribe to the channel. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com for swing trading alerts analysis and live day trading. We'll get into today's action. We'll talk tomorrow here. But first, today was really choppy and really noisy. And I mentioned to members first thing in the morning, I was to look for traps really on both sides all day long. This is going to be noise here. Obviously, the market knows that Powell is tomorrow. So even though we gapped down, I mean, it's not as if there is anything, to continue selling here. I mean, we have the news, the thing is coming tomorrow. So there's no reason to really stay outside of this range. And they really tried really hard to trap. In fact, they actually stopped me out. Even though I knew that was, I knew it was coming. They stopped me out. We got right back on this morning. But look at this. I mean, this 1, 2, 3. I mean, we have these lines here, my day trading lines. I mean, we hit this area. Boom, boom, 1, 2, 3, like 3 traps in a row. 2 deep slices. So got stopped on the first one, caught the NQ on the rebound, and we sold pretty much the high of the day, and actually caught the sweep of the low in the afternoon too, which was nice. So really just holding a small runner in that. But yeah, overall a choppy day here, and most of it was low quality. But if you know that the market is going to be like that, you can take advantage of it and just kind of trade those false breaks in other, in those directions. As you can see, that NQ at that pump there, couldn't get to the high, pulled back, failed breakdown. So mean reversion all over the place. But let's get into tomorrow here, and I know everybody wants to go over that. What do I think for tomorrow? I don't really have a ton of hedge here, I'll be completely honest. But I will say there's definitely, like my general lean right now would be that I think the market will be okay for tomorrow in the short term. And the couple of reasons for that are, one, you can see it in the corner of my screen there, the Russell 2000. This is strong. It's up 82 cents. That's a gain of 36 basis points currently. Every other index is red. Small caps are green. That's a leading indicator of overall market strength when small caps are leading. And we know, I've been talking about this for a while. Positioning is favorable for a rally in the Russell. And I could see a definite right tail in the Russell here for tomorrow and into next week, possibly even up to 240. Why is that? It's my thought here. It's my kind of opinion that the general lean right now, from what I'm hearing from, pretty much like the consensus that I can see, is that Powell is going to be a super mega hawk tomorrow. And he's gonna push back on the idea of rate cuts. I don't know where people are getting this idea from, other than just the fact that he's been at odds with Trump. But at the end of the day, Powell's going to do what the 2 years telling him to do. And I think he's going to do what, what's expected here. And if you look at it, what's expected, it's a rate cut. So obviously not tomorrow, but it would indicate that there'd be rate cuts in September. So I don't think he's going to push back. I think maybe he pushes back on further, more rate cuts. But I think that, this did go down a little bit, but it's still pretty high. I think that he'll probably confirm a rate cut. It's obviously the guidance that matters, but all that stuff doesn't matter. What matters here is how is the market positioned and where's the alpha? The alpha here is, I think, I wish I could give you guys the exact number. Members know it, and you can comment tomorrow if we hit those numbers in the comments. Let everyone know. But let's just say it's way higher. There's a right tail that's a lot higher, and it's not an all-time high, but it's higher. Why would that happen? Well, I mean, it's no secret the market's ridiculously hedged at this point. You can see, I mean, we are in incredibly negative gamma territory for tomorrow in S&P and moving forward here. So yeah, is it? Do we have a negative configuration here? Yes, of course. But if it's priced in, you can see an unwind, and that's how right tails happen. Or if he's any more dovish than expected, and I mean like any more, you can see an unwind there too. So I would be careful of upside here. I'm not expecting it, but I think that's if there's a scenario to take advantage of, I think that would be the one. On the downside, I'll give you this: 6350 better hold. If that doesn't hold, we're deep in negative gamma, and we'll go straight to 6300. And then if 6300 doesn't hold, we're going to 6250. We'll go down to the 50 MA. So that's your kind of your risk on the downside. Maybe spot 525 SPY, Qs 550, honestly, because of how weak they are right now. So that would be your downside there. But I just think the market's too well hedged here. Saying all that, even if we make a new high, I think it's a bull trap. That's just my thought right now, personally. So we'll see what happens here. Obviously, I'm just kind of playing it a little bit cautious right now. But obviously there will be traps. I'm sure it'll be fun to trade. But yeah, don't be surprised if there's a big right tail. And if you guys are new to the channel, that my specialty is catching those. So we'll see if it happens again. But I usually, when I see these setups come into play, a lot of the time they play out. And I'm not even necessarily like that aggressively playing, looking to play it, but it's definitely there. It's definitely there. And I think a big giveaway here is the RTY here. This is not bearish. Like, that's not a bearish pattern really at all. It's just a, kind of pullback flag. And if small caps take off, I mean, the market's going to be green. Like, the small caps aren't just going to rip higher with nothing else ripping. So that would be my thought here. I also could see very well, I know this doesn't help anybody, but I could also see us just like pinning all around, trap here, trap there, and then just close at 6,400. I could see that for Friday too. But I don't think that the big left tail downside is going to play out tomorrow. I just think it's too well telegraphed, and especially after yesterday when I mentioned the Fed minutes. Like, some members are concerned about inflation, that deal. I just think the market's too prepared here. But that said, if it does get going to the downside, I'm telling you, if we lose 63.50 with volume, we'll gamma squeeze down. And that's the risk that I talk about when I say dealers aren't going to come save your ass this time. So when it comes, it's going to, there's not going to be that zombie bid there. We bounced yesterday because, we were into, there was a lot of confluence here. We were just buried on the hourly and 4 hour. We hit the 50%. We hit a big breakout area. So, the dip was going to get, defended there, regardless of whether or not there was dealers or not. So I don't think that this dip by here should be looked at as typical. It should be looked at as that's what would have happened anyway. But anyway, so those are the numbers here. Yeah, I'm dead serious. At 240 right tail next week. It's possible. Dow here, still holding up, nice kind of flag there, down 25 basis points. And yeah, the Dow can get going if it wants to, if we get a catalyst, which tomorrow could be one. You also have a, what it's worth, broadening pattern here on GIA. Come on, there we go. So keep that on watch. SMH here, down $1. Broadening pattern there too. IGV down 14 cents, came off the lows nicely. Dow Transports came off, they got hit earlier. Yeah, they got hit earlier, but they came off the lows. They're flat now, so a little bit better here. 2-year note down, so the yield up a little bit. I don't care what it's doing now. Tomorrow's what matters. ZB down off the lows. TLT needs to hold 86. I think it will. XHB, down here, but holding 111.50. Careful losing that inside bar. I don't like that. IYR just down fractionally. It had a nice rebound lately. Banks are holding up too. Positive for the bulls for sure. KRE trying to flag too. Broker dealers, flat to positive. We had a nice move in oil. Well, a decent little uptick in oil. Still needs to clear 64 to get a little squeeze going. I don't know if it will. Up 71 cents. XLE holding up as well. XOP, maybe a little, kind of pennant there. And OIH, tight range volatility coming in that. Dollar upticking hard today, but I think a lot of this was Look at the intraday, nice bid. But I think a lot of this is just short covering ahead of Powell. If we get macro that's bearish dollar tomorrow, they can put those right back on and try to break down 98. So I wouldn't make too much out of the dollar rally just yet until it tries to confirm it tomorrow. Gold tight. So not really much going on there, but look at how this range is getting tight here. So we're getting a move in gold at some point soon. Silver had that dump the other day, but it came back really nicely over the last 2 days. Look at that rebound. So again, remember, I talked about this, that the daily got ugly, right? Like if we go right there, you know, a little ugly, looks like it wants to make a lower high. Got to use the bigger time frame. Still had a bull inside bar on the weekly. The weekly will be more dominant than the daily. It's going to overpower it more times than not. And that can break out next week if it wants to. That's got enough consolidation. Platinum holding up here. That's firmed up a little bit. See if we can reclaim those moving averages. And palladium here down again. But that looks like sellers getting a little tired here in the short term. And copper here, trying for a higher low. So we'll see if that can get going. Maybe we get tariff news on that. Maybe Powell says something. I don't know. And yeah, crypto a little weak here. Well, namely Bitcoin. So Bitcoin rolling over here, and it's off the lows a little bit, but definitely soft. I think this, you know, wants to at least test that 100 MA. ETH on the other hand looks a little bit a lot better actually. Just kind of an inside hammer. I think this will be green tomorrow, but I don't think it's gonna like shoot higher or anything. But all you're doing is holding the 20 MA right now, and there's nothing wrong when you see that. Stock that's holding its 20 MA is a stock that's in an uptrend. So. And it's, you know, basically just off all-time highs. So I still think this wants to make new highs too. Again, the fact that alts are holding up too, you know, it's kind of in the same kind of boat as small caps in a way that it's, you know, that's a risk sector, high risk sector. I find it hard to believe that they would be holding up, small caps would be holding up if we're going to puke tomorrow. That said, I do think we're, you know, downside's coming sooner rather than later, but may want to do a 1, 2, 3 high first. So be on watch for stuff like that. Anyways, guys, I'll wrap it up here. Yeah, you guys take care. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com. I'll see you guys all tomorrow.